Hey wrestling fans, this is Rick from rickswrestlingblog.com. Hey, welcome to my video. Hey, Money in the Bank is right around the corner. Hey, I want to apologize for not doing the pay-per-view game for the Payback. And that was somewhat on purpose because I was so disappointed with what the WWE put together for that pay-per-view. A couple matches were good, but hey, that pay-per-view, it was pretty much what I expected the WWE to do when the network came out. Give you 2, maybe 3 quality matches, and then fill the card with the rest of matches that don't even matter. So anyway, hey, listen, this is a nice, it's a beautiful morning. It's a little overcast, but it's actually really nice. So I wanted to do the video outside today, and hey, I got the new game out there. There we go. Money in the Bank. It's out there. It's on my website. You can go to rickswrestlingblog.com, go to Wrestling Games, click on Pay-Per-Views, and then you'll see in there where it says Money in the Bank game, and click on that, and you will see the download file. The file is just an Excel file. You can go ahead and download it. If they happen to add more matches, go ahead and type them in, because that's an Excel file. So that's really why I kind of do it that way anyway. So, and it's easy. That's why. So, hey, we need to talk about this card coming up. Money in the Bank. Alright, Sunday, June 29th. And I'm looking forward to this one. They've actually got a couple good Money in the Bank type matches. Okay, so let's talk about that. The first one that I called a Money in the Bank type of match is really for the World Heavyweight Championship. Okay, you've got Roman Reigns, Alberto Del Rio, Bray Wyatt, John Cena, Randy Orton, Cesaro, Kane, and Sheamus. Who will walk away with the world title? Now, here's my thing about this. Even though you've got some pretty decent players here, and I can see in the near future people like Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, Cesaro possibly winning this title. The thing is, I don't expect any of them to win it this time around, and I'll tell you why. Because SummerSlam is actually right around the corner. Now, there is one more pay-per-view before SummerSlam, and I think it's Battleground. It should be Battleground. So we'll have Battleground first, and then we're going to have SummerSlam. So here's the thing. In SummerSlam, we're expecting to see Brock Lesnar, whom we haven't seen since WrestleMania, who broke the streak. So think about this. WrestleMania, he made a big impact by beating The Undertaker. So coming SummerSlam, Brock Lesnar has to have probably the biggest match. Okay, he just finished breaking the streak. That's the last time we saw this guy. So SummerSlam's coming around. He's gonna fight someone huge, and you know what? There's nothing bigger than going for the world title. So I really believe that Lesnar is gonna battle for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, but not only battle for that, he's actually gonna win it. So I can't see him losing at SummerSlam. This is his first match back since breaking the streak. So I have to look into this match here at Money in the Bank. I'm looking at it as to who's going to hold the belt temporarily for about 2 months worth, and then lose the title over to Brock Lesnar. Well, I don't see them doing that to a Roman Reigns. This guy's the guy that they want for the future. They want to build him up. They're gonna not give him the title for 2 months and then take it away. And then I can't see them doing the same thing to Bray Wyatt, and I can't see them doing it to Cesaro because of the same reasons. So, the only thing I can think of is who is going to be a better challenge for Lesnar at SummerSlam. It's not going to be Alberto Del Rio. I doubt it. I doubt they'll give it to Sheamus, because Sheamus is already the United States champion. Now, it's not a bad idea, but I doubt that they'll go that route. And that only leaves me with John Cena and Randy Orton. Now, I can see John Cena winning the title, because I can see John Cena putting the title on the line at SummerSlam versus Brock Lesnar, and that would be a huge match. So honestly, that's where I'm leaning for this match. However, the other option, although it's somewhat small, but if Randy Orton were to win this title, not that it would make a good match between him and Lesnar at SummerSlam, but this is what Randy Orton can use to actually turn face again. Because the problem is that with Randy Orton being a heel, he's been irrelevant lately. He's just kind of in the background now. He's not doing anything. But what better way to get him out of that funk than to turn him face and give him the title? He may hold the title only for a couple months and then lose it to Brock Lesnar, but he would go into SummerSlam as a face. And not that he would still have a chance of retaining the title, because no matter what, I still think that Lesnar's going to take it. Anyway, my pick is John Cena to actually win the title at Money in the Bank. I would really, really hope that they give it to Randy Orton. I think this would be a great opportunity to turn him face. But then he loses the title at SummerSlam versus Brock Lesnar. Alright, let's move on to the Money in the Bank contract ladder match. Alright, Seth Rollins, Kofi Kingston, Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, Jack Swagger, Bad News Barrett, and RVD. Now, I know Bad News Barrett just recently got hurt, but they hadn't announced who was going to replace him or if they were going to replace him. And honestly, they should. You know, the first match for the world title has 8 contestants. Now the second match had 7, and now it's down to 6. I don't really like having 8. I think it's too much, but oh well. Anyway, listen, Money in the Bank contract. Nobody's gonna see Kofi winning this thing, okay? So why put him in the match? Oh, because he puts on a show and these things, whatever. Anyway, he does. Don't get me wrong, he does. It'll be fun to watch, but you know, really, he's got no chance. Jack Swagger, no chance. We know Bad News is out. Dolph Ziggler, you know, it would be a surprise if they actually allowed him to give him one more shot, because he's been getting a lot of pop again. And I'll tell you what, I think it would really be a good move to give him the contract. But will that happen? I don't know. Honestly, and RVD, come on, they don't let him win anything. I mean, he comes in to make other people look good, puts on some good matches, but they don't let him win anything. It's got to be Seth Rollins and possibly Dean Ambrose. Now, my pick is actually Seth Rollins, but I wouldn't put it over on WWE to give it to Dean Ambrose, and I'll tell you why. Because if you give it to Dean Ambrose, now you've got a reason for Seth Rollins to go after Dean Ambrose, versus Dean Ambrose constantly chasing Rollins constantly avoiding him. You know these two are going to clash sooner or later, probably at Battleground, but I'm thinking that their clash is probably better off at SummerSlam. Now, if Dean Ambrose has the briefcase, well then Seth Rollins, I think, is going to be a lock for Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose at SummerSlam for the briefcase. And I think that's really the route to go. So I would love to see them give it to Dean Ambrose. I kind of still think that Seth Rollins is going to end up with this case. My pick for Money in the Bank is actually Seth Rollins. But we'll see. I think it would be more intriguing to give it to Dean Ambrose. Alright. You got a Divas Championship match. Honestly, for me, a waste of time with this match. Naomi, although she's been doing really good, she's not Paige. Paige can wrestle. Paige is very unique, and this is just a way to break up the Funkadactyls. Is what I believe. It's the way of Cameron probably interfering or doing something to cause Naomi the match because she's jealous. And before you know it, you've got a Naomi, Cameron battle. Maybe they're gonna set that up for SummerSlam. I don't know. I don't think that's necessarily a good SummerSlam match. Go ahead and put it in at Battleground, but that's it. Anyway, Paige to retain the title. WWE Tag Team titles on the line. The Usos, Jimmy and Jay versus Luke Harper, Eric Rowan. And yes, a lot of people are expecting the Wyatt family to actually walk away with the titles. Not me. Not this time. I actually think that the brothers, the Usos, are going to walk away with the championship. That they will win. They will retain their titles. And don't get me wrong, I think that they're eventually going to lose it to Harper and Rowan. But I don't think it's going to be at Money in the Bank. Maybe they'll rematch at Battleground and lose it then. Maybe they'll rematch at SummerSlam and lose it then. My prediction is they will not lose it at Money in the Bank. I know a lot of people are kind of thinking the opposite, that they will lose it, and then maybe they'll just re-challenge at SummerSlam. But hey, that's my pick right there. So, all right, Ryback versus Goldust Stardust. Now I'm not sure about why Cody did the whole Stardust deal, because supposedly they were going to be building to this Goldust versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, which obviously didn't happen for WrestleMania. Now, I don't know if they're doing this just to experiment to see if this actually works out good and they can keep them as a tag team, or if they're just using this so that they can actually really do turn on each other, and it'll be Stardust versus Goldust at SummerSlam, which is really kind of the route I'm expecting them to go. But in this case, I'm thinking against Rybaxel. I like the matchup. I honestly would love to see Goldust and Stardust do really well, and even beat Rybaxel and beat other tag teams and actually get the tag team titles back. I think that would actually be fun to watch. I think it'd be cool. I think that's a better route to go. But my gut feeling says that Rybaxel is gonna win. Stardust and Goldust are gonna kind of start getting into it, and I think that eventually they'll be setting up a Stardust versus Goldust at SummerSlam. So we'll see what happens. I hope that doesn't happen, but we'll well, at least not yet. So we'll see. And then they recently put in Layla versus Summer Rae with Fandango as the referee. I guess the question on this one is, at the end of the day, who will Fandango count out and who will he go with? So he'll obviously go with the winner, but who will be that winner? Will it be Summer Rae or will it be Layla? And I have a feeling he's actually going back with Summer Rae, which I don't like that idea, to tell you the truth. I think that Layla's not doing much. She's really not wrestling a whole lot. Use Layla because she can get involved. She can still wrestle. But the reason for that is because I want you to take Summer Rae and move her on into singles competition. Build her up. Start putting her against Paige. Her and Paige has some pretty decent matches. So you're not really going to do that if she's tied to Fandango. So I say let Layla win. Let Fandango go with Layla. And let Summer Rae move on to her singles career. Same thing they really should be doing with Emma. They've really messed her up with the Santino thing. So anyway, that's the pay-per-view. You circle the winner. You get a point for every winner. Do have some questions at the end. Oops, sorry about that. Do have some questions at the end here. For 1 point each, at the end of the pay-per-view, who will be the Divas champion? Because you can circle that Paige won, but what if Naomi won by disqualification? Okay? But at the end of the night, Paige was still the champion. Okay? At the end of the pay-per-view, who will be the tag team champions? Because, you know, for the same scenario. Okay? And what will be the match of the night? Now, obviously, this is more of a group. The group has to decide who they feel had the best match of the night. You know, was it one of those two ladder matches, or was it possibly even a tag team match? Because these guys have been putting on some good tag team matches. So I would say that, you know, between those three, it might be one of those three. I'm kind of expecting it to be the regular Money in the Bank ladder match. Believe it or not, I don't think it's gonna be the world title match because there's certain people in there that can't really put on that great a show. But when you have so much talent and people like Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Kofi, Jack Swagger, Dolph Ziggler, even RVD, in the Money in the Bank contract ladder match, I think that is probably going to be the match of the night. All right, hey, listen, go to my website, download it again. It's wrestling games. It's rickswrestlingblog.com. Wrestling games, pay-per-view, Money in the Bank. Click on that one. Then you'll see the Excel file pop up there. Download that, print it out, play along with your friends, your family. And, you know, I got to show you my collection because the last time we did a pay-per-view, I did a clean sweep, which, yeah, I didn't do the payback game, but one of my brothers put one together last minute right before the game because he wanted to play anyway, and so I played it and I had a clean sweep and won me a Kane mask. It was pretty cool. So anyway, hey, yeah, that's it. All right, so download it and we're good to go. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on rickswrestlingblog.com.